All right, today we're going to decode the invisible script that runs your relationships. We're talking about your attachment style, that deep, primal programming that basically dictates how you connect with others, how you love, and, yep, how you feel loved. So, let's get into it. Ever ask yourself this question? It's that sinking feeling, right? Like you're stuck on a relationship treadmill, attracting the exact same dynamic over and over and over again. But what if the problem has nothing to do with your picker? What if it's not about who you choose, but about the unconscious blueprint you've been following all along? And this is really the heart of it all. See, these patterns aren't just character flaws or some bad habits you picked up. Nope. They were wired into your nervous system when you were just a kid. It was your brain's brilliant, non-negotiable strategy for staying safe and connected in whatever world you were born into. Okay, so first things first, let's try to understand this invisible force, this autopilot that just takes the wheel in your relationships, a lot of times without you even noticing. You know, when you boil it all down, attachment theory is actually devastatingly simple. Your entire model for how relationships work is built on the answer your young mind came up with for this one single question. Was connection a source of comfort and safety? Or was it unpredictable, maybe even scary? Or just not there? That answer became your truth. Think of it this way. If your caregivers were a consistent, steady source of comfort, your autopilot learned, okay, depending on people is safe. I'm worthy of love. But if they were kind of hot and cold, your system learned to be on high alert, constantly scanning for connection. And if they were distant, well, your autopilot learned the only person I can really truly rely on is myself. And look, these aren't conscious choices, right? It's just the map your brain was given. And before we go any further, I really want you to hear this. This is not a life sentence. That old map might have gotten you here, but it absolutely does not have to be your final destination. You have the power to draw a new one. All right, so let's get into the four main patterns or archetypes that come out of this. And as we go through them, just, notice if one of them feels a little familiar. Okay, first up, we've got the secure style, also known as the anchor. And you can think of this one as kind of the North Star. It's the secure base that all the other styles can learn from and grow toward. So, someone with a secure attachment, they see love as a safe harbor, not a battlefield. They're comfortable with intimacy, but they're also comfortable with independence. They can tell you what they need clearly and calmly. They don't play games, and they truly believe that when things get tough, conflicts can be repaired. It's not a sign that the world is ending. Next, we have the anxious attachment style, often called the chaser. And hey, if this one starts ringing a bell, you are so not alone. It is an incredibly common pattern. Now, what's so important here is how this reframes what society often just dismisses as being needy. The anxious style has this exquisite, almost radar-like sensitivity to any hint of abandonment. This is the part of you that will overanalyze a text message for hours, that feels hungry for reassurance, that overgives to try and feel essential. This isn't a flaw, you guys. It's a hyperactive safety check. Your system is just screaming, hey, are we still connected? Am I still safe here? Okay, so let's flip the coin and talk about the avoidant attachment style, which we'll call the island. For the island, deep emotional closeness can feel, it can feel like being suffocated, like a threat to their freedom. So when a relationship starts to deepen and get real, their primary instinct is to pull back and create distance. It's not that they don't have feelings, it's that vulnerability feels like a trap. Their blueprint taught them that the only true reliable safety is found in self-reliance. And that brings us to our final and maybe most complex pattern, disorganized attachment, known as the storm. This is all about a massive internal tug of war. Someone with a disorganized style wants connection, often desperately. But the very person they want to get close to is also seen by their nervous system as a source of fear. So the closer love gets, the more their survival instincts just scream and sound the alarm. It's literally like driving a car with one foot slammed on the gas and the other slammed on the brake. Just a state of constant, exhausting conflict. So, what happens when these styles collide? Well, you get these really powerful, predictable dances. And the most common one on the entire planet is the painful dynamic known as the anxious avoidant trap. It's just a perfect storm, right? Because their survival strategies are polar opposites. When the anxious partner feels that little flicker of insecurity, their blueprint screams, "Get closer to fix it." But for the avoidant partner, that same closeness feels like an invasion, and their blueprint screams, "Get away to be safe." And this, of course, absolutely terrifies the anxious partner, who then chases harder, which only makes the avoidant partner feel more suffocated and run even faster. And the result is this exhausting push-pull dynamic. But here's the crucial thing to get. Both people are just trying to feel safe. They're just speaking opposite languages to get there. And what's wild, and what makes this cycle so hard to break, is that the dynamic itself can become addictive. That constant tension, followed by the sweet relief of reconnection, creates a neurochemical roller coaster that our brain can mistake for intense passion. It's a powerful trap, and it's built on a shared but totally misunderstood need for safety. Okay, so if you're listening to this and thinking, "Oh my God, that's me," how do you get out of the trap? How do you actually start to rewrite that blueprint and build what we call earned security?
Here are 3 things you can actually start doing. First up, self-regulation. This is all about becoming your own anchor. When that wave of panic hits or that suffocating urge to run takes over, you have to learn how to soothe your own nervous system. Deep breathing, a walk outside, whatever. Anything that tells your body, "I am safe right now." Second, the 24-hour rule. This is a total game changer. When you're triggered, you commit to not reacting for 24 hours. Now, this isn't about ignoring the problem. It's about giving that emotional storm time to pass so you can respond from your wise adult self, not your screaming, reactive blueprint. And third, earned security. This is where you consciously start to retrain your picker. You choose partners based on consistency and emotional safety. And I gotta be honest, at first, this might feel super boring to a nervous system that's wired for drama, but that boredom, that's actually calm. That's the feeling of a safe harbor, and it's how you build a new foundation, one healthy choice at a time. Look, if you remember literally one thing from all of this, please let it be this. This is not a fixed personality trait. It's a set of conditioned responses. And just like any muscle, with awareness, with practice, and with consistency, it can be strengthened and retrained. So, I'm going to leave you with this thought. Understanding your style isn't about blaming your past. It's about honoring the brilliant way you learned to survive. But now with this knowledge, you hold the pen. You have a new choice. So the question is no longer just about survival, it's about how you will choose to thrive.